everyone, and welcome back to Friday Morning Fuel. My name is Daniela. Glad for you to be joining me. This morning, we're going to be making something a little different, not a smoothie, but also something that sounds just a little weird, but trust me, there's a reason behind it. And one of those reasons being that it's good and delicious. So we are going to be using watermelon today because I'm still in the mindset that I'm refusing to accept that summer is coming to an end, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about something that all humans have a hard time doing, and that is creating change, right? Or accepting change. All of us have a hard time in one way or another about changing something, either changing a routine, changing habit. Any kind of change is hard, and there's a reason for that. Think of your brain as having like this executive center versus a habitual center. So your executive center is more of your decision-making center, right? It's the executive, right? And then your habitual center is kind of that area of your brain that keeps you going back to all of your old habits. So it's that area of the brain that keeps you in comfortable situations. So anytime that you make a decision to make a change, and you're like, I'm going to wake up 30 minutes early tomorrow, and I'm going to either meditate or go to the gym, whatever you choose to do. It's your habitual center that's like, nah, I'm going to stay in bed. Let's stay in bed. Yeah. So you have these two areas of your brain competing against each other. So anytime that you make a decision, your habitual center is automatically kind of that like fearful little person. It's like, are you sure? Do we really want to do this? So that's why a lot of people have a hard time creating change, is because of that habitual center competing with the executive center. So the reason I'm talking about this is because I usually have a hard time transitioning from the summer to the fall. Like, I really love summer. I thrive during summer, and maybe some of you can relate. And so the fall season, the days are getting shorter, it's darker longer, so it's a lot more difficult to like create change. So we kind of automatically go into this like hibernation mode, and like we're less likely to make progress on our goals. And before you know it, it's kind of at the end of the year, and you're just like, well, I'll just wait till January, right? And so I want to talk about this because fall is coming, and I want you all to be prepared and to know that you are likely going to experience, if you're not already, some amount of competition between that executive center and the habitual center. So just be aware that does exist, that you're not just resistant to change. I mean, you're biologically hardwired to resist change, but that is very, very normal. But you can overcome that because you just have to redirect your thoughts. So anytime you find yourself wanting kind of to go back, you have to be intentional about that decision and get that executive center of your brain hey everyone, sorry for getting cut off of Skype. Hopefully you're all still there. Okay, I think we're back. All right, where was I? Okay, you all see me now. Great, sorry. So, where was I? Talking about the habitual and the executive center. So, to create that change that you do want, you have to be intentional about making that decision and ignoring that habitual part of your brain that says, let's just stay comfortable. And you have to be intentional about executing that decision that you've made. So, Don't think you are just terrible at change. Everyone is. Everyone has a hard time with it. It's not just you, so know that that resistance is very, very natural and very, very common, but you can overcome that by redirecting those thoughts. So that leads me into our fuel for this morning. Daniela is still resisting change, but don't worry. We will be getting into more of those fall, wintry breakfast ideas in the coming weeks. But for today, we are going to live in summer for just one more week because my habitual brain is still wanting it to be summer. So we are going to be making a watermelon quinoa parfait. And this particular breakfast recipe is packed full of protein, not just from your quinoa, but also from the Greek yogurt. Don't forget that you can always mix and match these ingredients however you'd like. I always encourage you to just make it about you and use the ingredients that fit your needs the best. So if Greek yogurt is not something you enjoy, maybe try a different flavor yogurt. Always go for the plain though. It has a lot less sugar than those flavored kinds. So just a little tip for you this morning. But okay, so I'm going to start with my half cup of cooked quinoa. There it is. And I'm going to add in just a tablespoon. I think actually the recipe said teaspoon. We'll add just a bit of mint leaves, some fresh mint leaves. As a quick side note, I have these mint leaves in my refrigerator for almost a week now, and mine usually wilt after a few days, but my mom told me that if you keep them in a jar with water, and here's the trick, if you keep like a plastic Ziploc bag over it, it keeps all of your herbs fresh and shiny. So I don't know if anyone else knew that, but I didn't. So that was a huge help. So I've had those fresh mint leaves in my refrigerator for a few days now, and they are still fresh. All right, so I'm mixing up the mint and the quinoa for just a refreshing breakfast taste. Okay, so I'm going to mix that up, and I'm going to set that aside just for a second, and I'm going to actually add the Greek yogurt first to my bowl, and that is simply because I like for the yogurt to be at the bottom of my parfait. Grab a spoon here. Okay, I'm back. I was grabbing a spoon for my yogurt. Oops. All right, so I'm going to take my half cup of Greek yogurt into my bowl. I don't know if some of you see cinnamon, but she's here looking at my yogurt. She wants them. Hello. Alright, so I've got my Greek yogurt at the bottom of my bowl here. We all see it. And I'm going to add in my half cup of quinoa. So our Greek yogurt is going to serve as our build portion of our breakfast today. Our quinoa is actually going to contribute to that build portion because it has a great amount of protein. For those of you that might not know, that quinoa is one of the only complete grains, meaning it has all of the essential amino acids. It is a complete protein by itself. And also it's going to serve as our fuel, as our carbohydrates for our breakfast this morning. Okay, then I'm going to top it off with my cup of watermelon. Yummy watermelon. And then I'm going to just sprinkle some almonds on top. So, very quick and simple breakfast parfait for this morning. So we've got some Greek yogurt on the bottom, some quinoa, added a little bit of mint, added my watermelon, and sprinkled on some almonds on top. Okay, so the reason why I chose to do this recipe today is because I literally already had all of these ingredients in my kitchen. Okay, so we about 2 weeks ago we did the like nut butter breakfast toast with Greek yogurt. So I still had an extra cup of the Greek yogurt cups here. What I want you to start thinking about in terms of your morning fuel is think about those 4 pillars, okay? It's not always going to be the most like exciting breakfast, but if you can think about those 4 pillars, fuel, build, prevent, and protect, and those almonds are going to be our protect, right? Our healthy fats. If you can think about those 4 pillars, so fuel, build, prevent, and protect, your carbohydrates, your proteins, your healthy fats, and fruits and vegetables, you will have a complete breakfast and your body will get the nutrition that it needs, okay? So again, it's not always going to be the most fanciest thing. Sometimes it's going to look and sound a little weird, but if you can get those 4 pillars in there, you will have a complete nutritious breakfast. Okay, all right, so now let's taste it. Let's have a bite of my parfait. Tastes like summer. All right, it's a little bit different. It's delicious though. The watermelon and the mint really make it very refreshing. So let me know if you try it. I think someone was going to be making it with me this morning. They had some of the ingredients on there. But all right, thank you everyone for joining me. I would love to hear some of the recipes that you all put together in your kitchen, building off of those 4 pillars of nutrition. And just let me know, or let me know if you have any requests of anything you'd like to see on our Friday morning fuel. And do not worry, everyone, all the pumpkin spice things are coming. They're coming soon. But next week, in honor of Men's Health Month, so September is Men's Health, we're actually going to have a guest chef. Our program manager, Chris Powell, is going to be on Friday Morning Fuel next week. So make sure you join him.